Good afternoon. This is the FY26 ESNAPS information session. Today's June 24th, 2026, and we are going to go over the process of opening up applications in ESNAPS. We are not going to go over the registration piece for your organization, but I will briefly touch on updating your applicant profile. And so if you need assistance with actually getting set up in eSnaps, there's some toolkits at the end of this presentation, and we are also happy to help with those pieces. Okay. Also, my name is Stephanie Reyes. I am the Vice President COO at Community Alliance for the Homeless, and I'm going to get started. So the main things that you'll have to focus on when you are opening up an application in eSnaps are setting up your applicant profile, registering for the funding opportunity, creating the project application, and accessing the project application. These are the four main steps for eSNAPS. Once you get to the eSNAPS website, if you have never created a profile, this is where you can do that. But if you already have a profile and you have used this before, here's where you will log in, just as a reminder. First step is updating your applicant profile. So on the left-hand side of the screen, there's some menu items, and the one that is bolded is the one that the page that you're on. So for this image, the applicant profile is bolded because we are in the applicant profile section. So if you are pre-registered and you have an applicant profile already, you can click open that file folder right there. If you have not done that, you can click the little piece of paper with the plus sign on the left-hand side right here. So here you're going to want to ensure that all the applicant profile screens are accurate and updated. If you need to make changes, you're going to go all the way down to the submission summary page, and you're going to hit the edit button. Once that edit button has been selected, you'll be able to make edits to the applicant profile. You'll need to have all green checks and no red X's in order to be able to populate the submit button. And you can hit the submit button when you're ready to go and everything is saved. And then from there, you'll know that your applicant profile has been updated. After you update your applicant profile, you're going to want to register for the funding opportunity. So a left-hand side here on the menu, we were in the applicants page. Now we're in the funding opportunity registrations page. You're going to click that. It's going to get turned bold because that's the page that you're on. You can see that you're in the applicant this is the applicant that you are applying with. So you can see that we are applying with Community Alliance for the Homeless, and that's the organization that I'm under. So now I'm going to look under the funding opportunities here for the one that I need to register for. This is obviously an old screenshot because as of June 24th, the new 2026 applications have not been released yet. So I'm using an old example. But you would be looking for renewal project application 2026 or new project application 2026 or YHDP project application 2026. You don't have to worry about the planning applications and you don't have to worry about UFA. And you'll see here, the example that I'm using is renewal project application 2021. And there's a 0 right here under applicants registered. That means that my organization has not already registered for this project. So I'm going to click the piece of paper with the check sign here. And that is going to bring me to this funding opportunity details page. It's going to give me the opportunity to register for this funding opportunity. So I want to make sure that I'm in the right one, renewal project application FY21. And do I want to register Community Alliance for the Homeless? Yes. So I'm going to hit yes. And then it's going to tell me that I have been registered or my agency has been registered. So then I would hit back and you'll see that that 0 has changed to a number 1, which means that your organization has registered for the renewal project application. If you are also going to apply for a new project, then you'll need to register for the new project, and that then would turn to a 1 as well. But you only need to register for what you are going to apply for. So now moving right along down the menu on the left-hand side, we were in applicants, then we registered for the opportunity in the funding opportunity registrations, and now we're in projects. This is where we're going to name our project. So at the top, you're going to see project status, open projects, and then funding opportunity name, look for the one that you just registered for. For me, it's renewal project application FY21. For you, it will be renewal project application FY26. You're going to select it. And then you will see that there are no projects in this because we have not yet created one. So we're going to make sure that we have the right one selected, and then we're going to hit this little button, the piece of paper with the plus sign, and that is going to bring us to the Create a Project page. This is where we will name our project. And if you are a renewal project and you want to import data, you will import data from a previous project. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to name my project the Memphis and Shelby County Coordinated Entry System 2021, and I'm going to import data from the Coordinated Entry System from 2019. So one note here that is highly recommended is to add years to your project names. These grants are annual, so you'll apply for these annually, but you will also have all of them in the same section. And so when you're trying to pick the correct one, it's easier when you have the year associated with it. So for the purposes of this demonstration, you can see that I named it Memphis Shelby County Coordinated Entry System. You can't see the 2021, but it's there. And I'm importing data from the Memphis and Shelby County Coordinated Entry System 2019. And then I'm going to hit save. And then I am going to hit back, but you'll see that everything is in there. And if you don't have anything to import, then you can leave that part blank. And then here, if you remember, this was empty. There were no projects in there, but since we just created a project, you can see here is Memphis and Shelby County Coordinated Entry System 2021. Here's the project number. Here's the funding opportunity that we registered under. Here's the applicant name and the applicant number. The applicant number is also right at the top of the pages. When you see Community Alliance for the Homeless, applicant, it's all right there. Now we're moving into the submissions section. This is where you'll spend most of your time once you've registered and set up your projects. Every time you go into ESNAPS to edit your project, you'll go straight to submissions. And on the submission page, you're going to go to applicant project name, and there it says all projects. You're going to do a drop down menu and select the project that you just created and named, and then hit filter. Sometimes you have to do this twice. That's one of the things that sometimes glitches. So if it doesn't work the first time, just try it again and it should be fine. And then it will populate as a project that is here. You'll see over here in the date submitted, it's blank because you have not yet submitted that project. But you're going to click the file folder here, and that is going to open up the actual project. So this is the first page that you'll see when opening your project. It's before starting the application. There's a lot of important information, that we highly recommend, you review. There's some resources as well as some regulation pieces and some tips. So definitely check this out and read through it. On the left-hand side, you'll also have a lot of really important information to make sure that all that is correct. So you see, okay, Community Alliance for the Homeless is the applicant. Here's our number. The project name that we created, it's the Memphis and Shelby County Coordinated Entry System. If you have multiple projects, it's really helpful to have this quick resource on the left-hand side. So Community Alliance for the Homeless has like 10 projects, and we have to make sure that we're always in the right one. And then project number, that's the number associated with this individual project. And then you'll see that the type of project that you're in is the renewal project application. For you, it will say FY 2026. And then same thing as the main menu. As you move through the pages, the bold is going to move down, and that tells you which page you're on. But all of the pages are listed on the left-hand side, and you can click on any of them to go directly to that page, or you can just move through the application page by page on the main screen. One thing to note is that this is the last part of the first half of the application. After you hit save on this page or save and next on this page, you will open up the second half of the application. We've had a lot of agencies that have thought that this was the end of it, and they didn't realize that they actually were just opening up the whole second half of the application. So please, please, please make sure that you are hitting save on every page, otherwise it will not save. And also that you open up the full application. This is a screenshot from an example from 2024, and you can see that after here, this is where the rest of the project got opened up. But the first half was all things that we had to agree to. There's compliance pieces, there's certification that our organization is not going to lobby, talking about our congressional districts. This first part doesn't take a lot of time, but it is necessary to finish all those pages before you can even get to the full application. So highly recommend doing that immediately, and then you can spend more time going through and editing the rest of the application, but don't wait till the last minute to get in here. Some of these will require you just to check a box. Some of them will require a written response. Some will require a number response or updating something. But everything will tell you exactly what you need to do. And you'll have red X's on anything, just like the applicant profile, that still needs to be updated. So right now I have all green check marks and I have already hit submit. So this project, this is grayed out. If I had not hit submit and I had all green check marks, this would be ready to go for me to submit. So if you're done and you feel good about it and you're finished, you have all green checks, you can hit submit, and then you can hit export to PDF right here. Or on the bottom of the menu on the left-hand side, there's also an export to PDF right here. We highly, highly recommend that you export to a PDF immediately after submitting, I mean. Because things happen and you want to have proof that you submitted on time to HUD in case they need it. It is highly, highly recommended. And sometimes we need a copy of that PDF. So please, please, after you submit any application, export it to PDF, save a copy for your records. And when you hit export to PDF, it will bring you to this page. I just go ahead and add everything that's in there. So everything starts off checked. I don't uncheck anything, and then hit export to PDF right there, and then it will immediately download a copy for you. And then as you'll see here, the date submitted has numbers and dates and times in here because that's the date and time that I submitted this application. All right. That's a brief overview on how to access the application, update your applicant profile, register for the funding opportunity, name your project and set it up, and then open it and submit it. Here are some resources on getting started and some frequently asked questions. This presentation will also be posted on the website with the slides on CAFTH.org. So feel free to go there and all of these will be clickable links for you in the PDF version of the slides. And there's also a video and the ESNAPS toolkit from the HUD Exchange. There's tons of resources about ESNAPS. It's a fairly intuitive system. It's one of the best ones, I think, of the federal systems. Once you understand how everything is structured, it's fairly easy to navigate after that. But things happen, so please remember to export your PDF after you hit save. Also recommend working not in ESNAPS directly, like work in a Word document so you have it in case something happens with in case the ESNAPS crashes or your internet goes out and you can't save something. Don't work in ESNAPS. Look at the questions, copy the questions, put them into a Word document, and then paste your responses into ESNAPS afterwards, but at least you have a backup. And remember that these four menu options are where you will spend the most time. Updating your applicant profile, registering for the funding opportunity, naming the project, and then submitting. And again, once you have done the first 3 steps, you don't need to go back to them. You spend most of your time in the submissions page. Here's a local timeline for the Memphis and Shelby County COC YGP NOFO competition for 2026. Today's Wednesday, June 24th. This is the ESNAPS information session. On Friday, July 17th, we're going to have ESNAPS office hours in person at our offices, 2670 Union Avenue Extended. You can find all that information on our website at CAFTH.org. And then on Monday, July 20th, we'll have another office hours in person. And then on Friday, July 31st at 2:59:59, all of your projects are due in ESNAPS. If you submit your project at 3:01, it will not be accepted. So please, please, please give yourself enough time in case of technical issues. This is not something that we will adjust on. So 2:59:59 p.m., all applications that are in there are in there. And just so you know what happens next, once you submit an ESNAPS, the COC will access your application and prepare it for the rank and review committee. So when you hit submit in ESNAPS, it goes directly to Community Alliance for the Homeless as the lead agency. We download your application and we prepare it for rank and review committee to review all of the applicants and put them on the priority listing if they are approved. If there are errors to correct before or after a rank and review, we'll send it back to you in ESNAPS and notify you to make changes. All that we will have to do is send it back to your agency, and then you will see it just as if you had never submitted it. So you will be able to resubmit it after you make that change. And then if everything is approved by rank and review, the project will be placed on the priority listing for our continuum of care. This is the list of recommended applications and sent to HUD. If the application is not approved, you will be notified outside of ESNAPS over email, and you will be given the opportunity to appeal. Thank you for attending. Again, my name is Stephanie Reyes. I'm the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at Community Alliance for the Homeless. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if not, then we will see you at our office hours on the 17th of July. Have a good day.